Well, as enrollment drops and costs rise, a school district in northwest Wisconsin is turning to its community for help.
In Northern News Now, Sophia Lauber spoke with Maple District leaders today, learning more about their needs and the proposed solution, which leaders say won't increase costs for taxpayers.
Leaders here at the Maple School District are asking voters to help fund a number of facility repairs needed to keep schools running smoothly. Here at Northwestern Elementary, that includes replacing the roof, repairing driveways, and restoring the aging playground.
We've had to tell students that they couldn't play on equipment for periods of time while we had to wait for new parts to come.
Elementary principal Brad Larrabee says the school's cabinets, flooring, HVAC controls, and security systems also badly need updating.
When we think about our schools and the operations, sometimes the most important things are really things that aren't glamorous.
The district is asking for a $14.5 million referendum to help. Superintendent Cody Fetchel-Cotter says now is the time to act.
What I do know is construction costs do not seem to drop at all, so the further we go down the road, the most likely those projects are going to continue to increase.
The referendum technically comes at no extra cost to taxpayers. If it passes, the tax rate would come down slightly because a 2006 referendum is being paid off this year. Of course, if it doesn't pass, taxes would go down even more. But leaders are hoping the community meets them in the middle.
The whole goal of this is trying to take the needs of the district, meld that with the needs of the taxpayer, and see if we can find something that works for everybody.
If voters pass the referendum on April 7th, leaders say work likely wouldn't start until the construction season in 2027. In Maple, Sophia Lauber, Northern News Now.
Thank you, Sophia. Now, if it fails, though, the district's next opportunity to try to pass a referendum would be in November.